again, more distractions in my telling you about the plot of the movie. They go to the cabin and they have a good time. They go down to the basement. They find a sphere thing that is modeled after the box from Hellraiser. I can't remember what it's called. I always just call it Pandora's box, because that's what it pretty much is. But they do the sphere thing and they pretty much choose how they die. Spoiler again. Pretty much choose how they die by pressing in a certain thing, or by choosing a certain thing from the basement. And that's basically what happens, and that's where the Pinhead ripoff comes in. Because at one point he's just standing in the elevator, like, but you can only see my hands, but he pretty much does the signature Pinhead just look until he says something like, "A pain you've never felt before," in that extremely awesome voice, which is why he intros Cradle of Filth songs and music videos. Again, off track. And you never get to hear that guy talk. He just looks at them. I don't think he does anything but looks at people. Better keep on walking. Yeah. Keep on walking. But they summon hillbilly ghost things that are overly religious and I can't remember what it was, but it was a man bolts, they said at one point. But just, yeah, it's like a girl saying it about her father or her brother or something, or somebody in the Bible, which is kind of weird, but it's funny. And they even bring that back as an innuendo. Thank you, movie, for having a good sense of humor. And the movie, again, every character is likable, and even the one that's kind of a slut. Or, as we learned from Mice and Men to call them, tarts. Slut. And then you got Turk, who they play off his personality of being the leader, and then he gets, you learn from Marty that they're acting different, they're acting their personality but times a certain amount, their personality is becoming stronger to a negative effect, and it doesn't affect him because he's on a lead. But then they all pretty much, at first we thought it was going to be a movie where they were doing an experiment or some kind of game or some kind of reality show. Which, when the stoner finds out what's happening, he's like, "I'm on a reality show!" Oh god, my parents are gonna think I'm a total burnout. It pretty much goes, the jock and the tart are going to have a good time out in the woods without their friends. And then they're the first to encounter the baddies. The tart gets killed. And then the jock goes back to the cabin, and from there on, 5 of them. And it's basically, apparently something I thought was supposed to be a twist was, you're the virgin to the red-headed chick. The girl going, you're, the chick I just called Dahlia Gillespie at one point, because she reminded me of that. Well, this is later in the movie at the end where they're like, "It's save the world, or it's save each other and then die with the rest of the world." That's pretty much what happens. They end the world, and I can see that internal conflict. Brida Jones says he can't, but I can. I honestly can. Which, yeah, I know. But then they go for... But I thought that the virgin was supposed to be the black guy, but apparently it was actually off-hilted because the stoner was... You had assumed he had died, and so had they, so they were like, one more person, or two more people left. And then Turk, and then where was I? Oh yeah, then, they're like, let's stick together, and then the guys are like, oh, and then the guys in the science lab controlling the entire thing are like, holy crap, they're going to screw this up. And then they go, then they press a button to like release steam or whatever, or to release a gas that changes them to be all stupider. And then they're all like, and then he's like, let's split up. And then they're all like, that's a great idea. And then the stoner's like, really, man? Really? 420? Sorry, but every time I think that we went to that movie on 420, it's just perfect. And then Marty's the next one to actually get encountered by one of the things by going by a window, and then shows a part where you think it kills him, but it doesn't actually, and that screws it all up. And from there on, the black guy, the red-headed chick, and Dirk the jerk, Dirk, are all just on the, I'll just go back into the van or whatever that thing is, camper, motorhome, whatever, and then they're all like, and then they go into the canyon thing from the beginning of the movie, cave. I know I sound really stupid right now. And that's a race to like, that's a race to turn on the thing that makes the cave fall in on itself, and then because some people at maintenance forgot to do it, and they go back, and then from there on, and then from there on they're all like, crap, how are we going to get across? And if you remember the beginning of the movie, you're going to go, oh, I know what's going to happen here, but I didn't, and I'm like, Dirk. Because he goes, I'm going to get out my motorcycle, and I'm going to jump this, and then I'm going to bring back help. And he did it in a way that was really cool. He was saying it in a way that really got you on his side. And then he jumped across and he dies. And then you're like, crap. And then it's the girl and the black guy, and then they try and get somewhere, but they can't. The black guy dies. Fall into the water. The girl gets out, and then they're like, well, it's up to her. She either lives or she dies. And I'm really, and one of the guys goes, I'm really hoping for her, because she's got heart. And I'm like, oh, God. Because I'm like, but they all had heart. Except for the one blonde chick. She didn't really show that much heart, unfortunately, so she's the worst character out of them all, I would say. But then they're like, wait, something's not right here, and then I'm like, of course, she's not the virgin, the black guy is. Because of how the black guy was acting and all that. And it's, apparently, she was the virgin character, even though, if you listen to the dialogue at the very beginning of the movie, you're like, she's not a virgin. But apparently she was supposed to be the virgin character, and it's because Marty's actually still alive. and Marty is awesome. And then they go into, and then they find a way to get into a place where all the people are, the lab where all the people are controlling it. They release all the monsters. They kill pretty much everybody in the lab, and then they kill everybody on Earth. Happy ending. But yeah, it was good. I'm getting more. I'm warming up on the ending. I didn't like it then because it just. I wanted it to be the whole experiment, but for what it was good. So. Just come to it. Released 3 years ago, but apparently Hollywood thought it would have been better in 3D. You guys suck. So, Mad Son, what's up?
And I knew you